Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, October 18th, 2024. Fire potential impacts for the next few days are shown here. We continue to see impacts from this low pressure system, mainly over eastern half of the area with high elevation snow in eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and Utah, and low elevation rain, cool temperatures across the region. We still do have some dry, windy conditions across southern Nevada. That'll be today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, the showers will be more limited to central and eastern Utah, and by Sunday, even further limited to eastern Utah. Yesterday was a very active day for rain and high elevation snow, especially in Utah. A little bit of a drier day over the central Idaho mountains, and there was quite a bit of lightning associated with these storms. In fact, this morning there continues to be some storminess in eastern Utah with a fair amount of lightning activity going on there. Here's our 48-hour snowfall. We did have quite a bit of snow at the higher elevations, especially over portions of western Wyoming and northern Utah. Well, much of Utah, where we saw in these butter yellows here 6 to 8 inches of snow in the last 48 hours. We also saw some snow in Nevada and some lighter amounts in the central Idaho mountains. Initial attack is pretty light with 3 fires for 0.3 acres. Large fire growth, 4,300 acres, and again, about half of those are from ongoing monitor fires that report once a week. ERCs have decreased significantly over the past couple of days over the northern 2/3 of the area. In fact, ERCs are on the downward trend everywhere, but we still have some areas across the far southern Great Basin that are on their way down, but not quite reaching that 50th percentile just yet. This morning's satellite imagery shows that nice strong area of low pressure right over the Great Basin, bringing continued rain and snow to Utah and up into western Wyoming today. Again, for today, Utah and western Wyoming will be the main location of action for valley rain and mountain snow. We do have high risk for southern Nevada, where some strong winds and low relative humidities are still expected today. Taking a look at those winds, we have very strong winds behind that front, especially over central and southern Nevada and portions of western Utah, where gusts are up to 50 miles an hour or so possible. Most of the area is seeing higher relative humidities, especially Utah and up into western Wyoming, but far southern Nevada still has some lower relative humidities, which is why we have the high risk there. Looking for another active day for valley rain and mountain snow across much of Utah and up into western Wyoming again, and cool temperatures region-wide with highs in the 40s to 50s. Tomorrow the low drops a little bit further south to the far southern tip of Utah or northern Arizona. We will continue to see showers over portions of Utah, but drying elsewhere across the area. Still some gusty winds there in southern Nevada. Winds lighten up tomorrow, but we still have some breezy, gusty winds behind the front in southern Nevada and into western Utah. And again, drier air moving back into Nevada with minimum relative humidities in the mid-teens, but still high values over Utah, Wyoming, and up into Idaho. Precipitation on Saturday is expected to be focused more over central and southern Utah and into eastern Utah, with drier conditions elsewhere. Temperatures will begin to rebound with highs back up into the 50s and 60s. On Sunday, the low will lift north and east through eastern Utah for another day of showers in that portion of the state, and then we see another low pressure system beginning to move into the Pacific Northwest, which will increase winds slightly on our northern and western border. So we can see a little bit stronger winds over western Idaho or the central Idaho mountains on Sunday, and possibly in northwest Nevada as well, but relative humidities are up across Idaho and Utah, with the lowest values over southern Nevada in the low teens. Precipitation on Sunday again should be limited to southern and southeast Utah, with maximum temperatures continuing to increase with highs in the mid to upper 60s, maybe low 70s in far western Nevada. 3-day precipitation totals are shown here. Again, it's mostly Utah up into western Wyoming for the next couple of days, especially southeast Utah, where we'll see that low kind of hang out for Saturday into Sunday. On Monday, the trough over the Pacific Northwest moisture quickly moves through. We could see some storminess in the central Idaho mountains on Monday, although it may be somewhat limited. And then Tuesday into the first part of next week, we'll return to a bit of a drier pattern as a ridge builds in. Wednesday, warming temperatures region-wide. As we head into the second half of the work week, we may see another trough moving into the Pacific Northwest. The 7-day precip totals are shown here. Again, most of this moisture in Utah is coming today through mainly Saturday and a little bit into Sunday. And then on Monday, we may see some moisture return to the central Idaho mountains. The extended forecast for October 25th through the 31st calls for near normal to above normal temperatures across much of the Great Basin and above normal chances for precipitation over Idaho and into northwest Nevada, with a drier signal further south and east. That concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.